All glories to Guru and Gauranga. We are back with biblical and modern history of Bhavishya Purana, Pratisaga, chapter 4 and 7, now on page 4. So, Kashyapa ruled the earth for 120 years and raising the consciousness of the people. There were 8,000 laborers in the country known as Rajaputra, and their king was Aryapritu. His son was Magadha. The sage made him a king and left. Shonaka inquired, O disciple of Vyasa, O Lord Maharsham, please tell us who were the kings to rule the earth in Kali Yuga after Magadha. Sutta Goswami said, when King Magadha, the son of Kashyapa, was ruling the earth, he remembered his father's administration and he separated the Arya Desh, India, into many states. The state which is on the eastern side of Panchala is known as Magadha. The state of Kalinga is on the east-south side. The state of Avanta is in the south. Amarta Desh is to the southwest. Sindhu Desh is on the western side. Kaikaya is to the northwest, Madhya Desh is in the north, and Koninda Desh is to the northeast. The states are named according to his sons' names. After performing a sacrifice, he gave the states to his sons. Lord Balabhadra became pleased with his sacrifice, and Sishunaga appeared from the sacrifice as his son. He ruled for 100 years, and his son Kakavarma ruled for 90 years. His son Kshemadharma ruled for 80 years, and his son ruled for 70 years. His son Vedamishra ruled for 60 years. His son Ajatanipu ruled for 50 years. His son Darbaka ruled for 40 years. His son Udayasva ruled for 30 years. His son Nandavardhana ruled for 20 years. His son Nandasuta, who was born from the womb of Shudri, or a low-class lady, also ruled for 20 years. His son Brahmananchala ruled for 10 years. His son Parananda also ruled for 10 years. His son Samananda ruled for 20 years. His son Priyananta ruled for 20 years. His son Devananda also ruled for 20 years. His son Yagyabanga ruled for 10 years. His son Maryananda ruled for 10 years, and his son Mahananda ruled for 10 years. At this time, Lord Hari, the Supreme Lord, was remembered by Kali. At that time, the great and famous Gautama, the son of Kashyapa, introduced the Buddhist religion and attained Lord Hari in Patana. Gautama ruled over 10 years. From him, Shakya Muni was born, who ruled 20 years. His son Shuddhodhana ruled 30 years. His son Shakya Simha became the king of Satadri after 2000 years, and he ruled for 60 years, for which time all the people were Buddhists. This was the first position of Kali Yuga, and the Vedic religion was destroyed. So here we see the history of Buddhism also mentioned. If Lord Vishnu becomes a king, and then all people would follow him, the activities of the world who are carried out by the prowess of Lord Vishnu are carried out by the prowess of Lord Vishnu. He is the master of Maya, or the illusory energy, and whoever takes shelter of that Lord Hari, though he may be a sinful and abominable person, will become liberated. Buddha Simha was born from Sakya Simha, and he ruled for only 30 years. Buddha Singha's son was Chandragupta, who married with the daughter of Suluva, the Yavana king of Posasa. Thus he mixed the Buddhists and Yavanas. He ruled for 60 years. From him, Bindusara was born and ruled for the same number of years as his father. His son was Ashoka. At this time, the best of the Brahmanas, Kanya Kubja, performed sacrifice on the top of a mountain named Arbuda. By the influence of Vedic mantras, 4 Kshatriyas appeared from the fire sacrifice. Among these 4, Pramara was Samavedi, he knew all the Vedas. Chapani was Yajurvedi, he knew the Yajurvedi Veda. Shukla was Trivedi, and he knows 3 parts of the Vedas. Pariharaka was Atavavedi, he knew that part of the Vedas. They were accustomed to ride on elephants. They kept Ashoka under their control and annihilated all the Buddhists. It is said there were 4 million Buddhists and all of them were killed by uncommon weapons. After that, Pramara became king in Avanta and he constructed a large city called Ambavati for his happiness. It was as big as about 32 square miles. So I think we'll continue in the next video. Thank you for listening. All glories to Guru and Gauranga.